This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra, $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The Lost City of Atlantis.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, Same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. First of all, since we are flying solo here, I want to make sure you've got the audio. Give me a thumbs up because I know we've got a crowd already building. Thank you. Just give me. I see defense is a joke. We know that, but we'll get into that defense and everything else. I just want to make sure before I continue, because Sean is off today. So good. Okay, excellent. All right. It was a disgrace, and it was a shame because they started off well. I mean, you look at it at the beginning, and they're kind of, taking a 21-point lead here, and you're like, wait a minute, they're making some stops, and they're playing against a very good quarterback, and the whole theme of the whole pregame or leading up to the game, the two biggest transfer impacts in the country, and there's no doubt, right? I mean, what Cam's done, and there's no doubt. You can't argue, okay? Both guys were phenomenal. Both guys have carried the team. That can't be argued. Okay. All of a sudden, your defense shows up, and we're like, wait a minute. And I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. The defense, they're going to do what they don't do. They're actually going to make some stops and help the offense. And then everything went to crap. And the Restrepo turnover, everything else, and that defense became the Canes defense that we've been watching, which now leads to the point in the game that everybody's going to complain about. You're in that fourth down, and you settle for the field goal, knowing you don't have a defense to stop anyone, God damn it. And that's a game that you had to win on offense. And one of the things that I've always talked about with Mario is a 10 in so many categories. Game day, he is below average, and average on his best day. Today was not his best day because, unfortunately, you have to go for everything there, bro. You have to go for the touchdown. You have no choice. You don't have a defense. You're not going to get the ball back. And if you miss, then so too bad. Everybody understands it. I know they'll complain and all that, but your defense can't stop anything, and you proved it right there at the end. It just made no sense whatsoever. That's like watching this idiot take the timeout with him home the other day. Who was it that Damn it, who was the coach that left the guy that just got fired, Eberflus. It's the same thing. The 3 points weren't going to get you anywhere. You weren't stopping that offense. You hadn't stopped them since the end of the second quarter. You weren't stopping them. From the second quarter on, you weren't stopping Syracuse at all. What made you think that all of a sudden your defense was going to become clutch or something? And because of Mario's conservative style, he went to a time-proven thing you do when you have a complete team. When you have a badass defense, you say, oh, no, we'll take the field goal here, and our defense is going to come out and put those guys 3 and out, and we're going to get the ball back and win it. You can do that with the old Canes, the ones that Mario used to play for. They had those guys on the other side. You don't have them now. We have a couple guys that we know their names, and they're all right, but collectively, this defense is dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. This is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life, and Guidry should be fired. The Canes don't deserve to be in the playoffs. They don't. Obviously, they're not going to the ACC championship game. I was laughing because last week I was like, Canes don't have an inside track. Oh, yeah, they do. No, they don't, because they got to win. And this game was never a gimme. Any Canes fan that got into this game thinking it was a gimme, you're an idiot. Hell, I fell for it when they put up the first 21 points. I was like, holy shit. They're actually playing defense or scoring. Wow, this might be something I haven't seen all season. And the Canes are the same frauds that the Dolphins are. They pump their record up against shitty teams, and when they have to play good teams, and this is just a good team, not a great team, you fold. Because Syracuse is playing better football than you are in the back end of the season, and they proved it today. I mean, it proves, and it also shows you that Mario Cristobal is not a good game day coach. That's what this exposes. Mario is a guy that needs to be carried by a whole bunch of 4 and 5 stars. He has to have more than 4 or 5 stars than you so he can outplay you, but he's not going to outcoach you. You understand what I'm saying? And he's not going to have the guys that are going to be outsmarting everybody because they're so well prepared. That's not who he is. He's never been that guy. So he has to amass more and more talent. That's who he is. He's the go-go guy, cafe, and let me pump you up and let me motivate you and all that. But this is not the guy that's going to be out scheming people. Okay, he's going to live off his talent. He's not going to look like, oh my God, like even with McDaniel, at times I will give him credit. He will call some plays that you're like, holy shit. You know, the camera gets freaked out. They get faked out. I get faked out. The defense gets faked out. You're like, oh, okay, you know, this guy can outthink you at times. Mario Cristobal is not that guy. He never will be that guy. Remember when they hired him here, and I'm a Mario guy, but even being a Mario guy, said he's got to be better than Oregon. What he did at Oregon is not good enough here in Miami. Here in Miami, they want you to compete for a championship. It's not like he was beating, you know, Big Ten and SEC teams often and stuff like that. You know, once in a blue moon, sure, the sun shines on every dog's ass. But look at here. This is a shitty ACC conference, and he can't win this conference with that quarterback. Because you don't know if the next one's going to be as good as this one. Even with all the crazy shit Cam does that's irresponsible at times, that will not fly at the next level. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff he does that will not. It will be a problem for him at the next level. And you're going to have a whole bunch of players now just declare and leave and all that kind of stuff because they're not going to stick around for a shitty bowl game. You're out of the playoffs. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs because your record's a fraudulent record. You really don't beat quality teams as it is. And even Florida right now, the Florida you played at the beginning of the year is not this Florida. It's sad. It really is sad because this one loss kind of just exposes a lot. You're up 3 touchdowns and you lose the game and you don't have the balls to go for it on 4th down. And it's kind of, I don't want to look. I love Mario, man. I really like the dude. I think he's a fantastic human being, but I got to call it like I see it. That was stupid thinking that, oh, no, we'll take 3 here and our defense is going to stop them. Well, are you afraid to insult your defense or something? No, you go for it. And in the locker room, if you fail, you look at your defense and your defense coordinator and say, hey, guys, we had to go for it. Why? You suck. We can't stop shit. I can't count on you. So the only thing I can count on is Cam Ward. Dude, a lot of you that are watching this show lived Miami with the Dolphins and Marino. Cam Ward, a lot of times, not the player itself, not the athleticism. What it reminded me of the Marino days in the sense that you were either carried by your quarterback. Well, at least he has a running game. Marino had none. But basically, you were carried by the offense or you were dead because Marino's defense was never going to bail him out. So you were going to win on offense. And in that moment, listen, if you wanted to score a touchdown and go for a 2-point conversion, I don't blame you. But, okay, you're on the road. You score a touchdown, you take the extra point, you tie, and then you live with the results after that. Your defense sucks anyways, right? But at least you've tied the game. A field goal, you didn't tie the game, and your defense is not going to stop anybody. You just don't know. There might be a bad snap, might be a snap over the quarterback's head, might be a fumble, a receiver, it may hit him on the shoulder pad. You just never know. You might get lucky. But first, you have to try to tie the game because a field goal does not get you there. But that's the conservative side of Mario Cristobal because he was afraid to go for it and fail and then have to explain that when he has to explain it and say, hey, are you guys watching the game or not? Media, fans, are you not watching the game? I had to go for it. My defense can't stop shit. I had to go for it. Our defense was pathetic today. They put us in this position all day long. That's it. It's the way it goes. Mario, you've done a shit job with your defense. Guidry, you've done a shit job with your defense. You should be fired right now. You don't even deserve to be on the plane on the way back to Miami. You and Mike McDaniel should be so unemployed, it's not even funny. Because the defense is not that bad talent-wise. They're much better than they've been in years, yet they play like this. That's on the coach. I'm just like the Dolphins. The Dolphins should have 4 or 5 more wins on their schedule. Why? Because of the coach. It's not the talent. It's the coach. The defense for the Canes, it's not the talent. They have enough talent to play way better than they're playing right now. That's pathetic the way they've played, dude. All year, pathetic. You never got better. I mean, that's a sign of a coach. Like, I'm watching Larinaga. And I know it's typical Larinaga at times. He gets new guys, this, that, and there's always a slow start for him. And then his team gets better as the season goes on, getting up to the tournament and stuff like that. That's been the MO for years with him. So his teams get better as the season goes on. That's what every coach, good coaches, I never saw that from this defense. I never saw this from the coordinator. I never saw it from Mario. I got to blame there. So Mario struggles with so far, 3 years in, he can't build a staff. You realize that, right? 3 years in, Mario Cristobal cannot build a staff. How much money, how many resources does this guy need in order to win? You know how much money they've given him? He can't even appear in the ACC championship game. He's supposed to win it with this. Is the next guy going to be better than Cam Ward? I don't know. I mean, again, we're not talking about a guy that is going to outcoach people. That's a problem. All right. By the way, Caneswear, visit our guy Brett and all the great people out there, man. They do an amazing job. Jeff and John and all these guys, man, they are absolutely awesome. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. And for you online folks, they've got Dolphins and Panthers. You know, the Panthers and Bitcoin. Those are the only two teams that never fail me. But anyway, you can get Panthers, Dolphins, Inter Miami, Marlins, and Canes gear and Heat gear there at Caneswear, Miami Fanwear. And also say hi to all the people out there when you go at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. And tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you at Caneswear.com. They are very good people out there at Caneswear, man. They get it done. And we appreciate it there at Caneswear. Also, you can make a donation on the show. Yes, we love the super chats here on YouTube, but those bastards take 30%. If you make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. We get 100% of the donation. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and you can use the QR codes. We'll show you the QR codes there. There's the one for Venmo. Hateful Steve chiming in on Venmo. Can someone with superior football knowledge like the Big O please explain why we kick a freaking field goal from the 10-yard line down by 7 with 4 minutes left? I can't, and I tried to explain it, Steve. No cojones, no balls, no set of brass. And Cam Ward plays with a set of brass. Unfortunately, Mario Cristobal coaches conservatively. And that's your problem right there. Conservativo. And that's who Mario is, right? He's a father figure. He's a perfect person to send your kid to that school because he's going to have a father figure. He's going to teach him right from wrong. He's going to guide him. He's a great human being, but he's a conservative man by nature. You see him. He's an offensive lineman. You know, it's interesting. There was a great offensive lineman. Was it Munchak, right? Was it Munchak for the Tennessee Titans? And he became the head coach. And the knock on him was he was too conservative. And offensive linemen have that thing that they're kind of conservative. And that was a conservative call there. That's a typical Mario Cristobal call right there in a moment where you needed balls. And, bro, listen, this is how it goes. Okay? This is how it goes. And we all would have understood. At least I would have understood. You go for it on fourth down. You fail, you have backed them up. Okay? You do your best. And you try to hope for the best at that point. But everybody knows at least now you got to drive 90 yards. Okay? The field goal, well, now they get to start off at least at the 35. So you've already given them more field position. Your defense can't stop anybody. You're better off keeping it there at the 10-yard line. And let me tell you something. If you're going to kick a field goal, you know what you got to do at that moment? An onside kick. Something you got to do. You cannot give the offense the ball back with the lead. It's over. You know that. I know that. So that's why you go for the touchdown. Going for a field goal is capitulation. You're done. So I'm with you, Hateful Steve. You don't have the defense to just say, no, our defense will. You can't. That's not an explanation at the podium. Your defense couldn't stop anybody. Why would you be able to count on them at that point? That's just, it's ridiculous. Ray Martinez, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, let's go XRP. Big XRP. Very good. And XRP is tearing it up, dude. It is tearing it up. Absolutely. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can use those QR codes. And, of course, you can also send in by PayPal. Pedro Farias says, I am broke on the super chat. Thank you, sir. Did you bet on the Canes? You didn't bet on the Canes, did you? What was the spread? It was Canes like minus like 10, right? Wasn't it? Something like that. 10.5. It's crazy. There's no way I could do that. Stephen Roel, thank you for the super chat, sir. You know what? I should do what Sean does on the live chat board, so I can actually bring them up here. So that way everybody can see them. And I appreciate the support as always. All right, there we go now. I mean, this choke job tonight was absolutely classic. Let's start off with man of 1,005 holds. Syracuse did what Miami has done this season. Going for the field goal was stupid. Mario has confidence in the D. LOL, the defense needs an enema. It's the defensive coordinator. It's not the players. Okay? They've got players on that team. You just don't know how to use them. That's what it is. Stephen Roel, maybe all of our Miami teams will win big again when we stop caring so much and craving it so much. Nah, Stephen, that's bullshit, dude. The Panthers win. You know what I'm saying? They're fantastic. They win. And they lost a Stanley Cup. You know, they've gone through it all. They had the most points and flopped. They touched the trophy and flopped. And then they came back and won it all. So, you know, that's a bunch of crap. It's just that right now, these teams, especially on the football side, they've been in a rut for a long time. The Heat has won championships. Right now, at least they've been to the NBA Finals, which is a miracle with the teams they've had. The real problem in the Heat land is they're delusional. They actually think that those years with Jimmy, now that they went there, they actually thought like they belonged there or something, like it's real, when it was really more fantasy. It was just incredible coaching and situations that fell in their place and perfect. And it was like, you know, all the stars aligning and that kind of stuff. It's not a matter of us. We care. We cared back when the Canes were good. We cared when the Dolphins were great. I know, I was around and we cared. It's not that. It's just they're in a rut because they're not properly managed. And when they get properly managed, then they'll start winning again. But until they know how to put together everything, forget about it. Pedro Farias says, I am broke. Bitcoin. Invest in Bitcoin. You're in a dip right now. You're going to pick up a few percent already as it is, and it's going to go, and it's going to go, and it's going to go 2x from here by the time we get to June, okay? And it'll be 15x by the time we get to 2030. So there you go, if you're broke. Pedro, good luck to you, sir. And stop gambling on the Canes. Frankie Fresco, Big O. Frankie, first on the chat board, choke job. You told me on X, only care if the Canes will take that L. That's it. Well, they take that L. That's it. We care. Pedro Farias is back. He found a little more, so he's not so broke. Big O, football teams, we suck. It hurts. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Our football teams suck, and it absolutely hurts in a big-time way. It's actually pathetic to see the performance of our teams. By the way, at least the Panthers did win. I will tell you that. Let me give you the update there, just so you guys. I think it was 6-0, which is kind of weird because they beat them 6-3 yesterday, and then today they beat Carolina 6-0. They beat them 12-3 over 2 nights. That is freaking amazing, bro. So that'll make you feel a little better. But Right now, the Canes, let's be honest, the Canes shouldn't be in the playoffs. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Mario deserves serious criticism right now, too. And it kind of exposes this is a bad loss for him as a coach. And he's got to change with the times and have some cojones and take some chances in games. By the way, Instagram, Blazing Speed, the Dolphins could use him. Who's which one? I don't know which one you're talking about. Mario and the defensive coordinator should be fired. The defensive coordinator should be fired. There's no chance Mario gets fired. They have paid Mario so much money. Mario is here for a few more years. Mario will need to fail a few more times like this before they make a change, and it'll be at least 5-6 years into his deal. It's like an 8-year contract. They don't have the money to eat that much. So that part is fantasy. Hopefully Mario figures it out, but they're not going to let him go for several years. They cannot afford to do that. Now, the defensive coordinator, well, time to spend more money because their defensive coordinator sucks. Blazing Speed says, bro, I'm here in Colombia. Yes, watching the game. Tremendous game. Hats off to who? I don't know. But thank you, Blazing Speed, for watching on Instagram. And all of you on Instagram, E-Galactic, Dry Cleaner, Captain Saki, Manny J. Snow, bunch of names there, some of them that I recognize. Thank you all out there for tuning in. Bowleg, Selling Paradise. Thank you out there. Appreciate you. Mike, Renkel, Kyle. Thank you there on Instagram. Appreciate you all. Let me see what we have on the chat board. No improvement on defense all season, says Jay Myers. The show, it shows how bad the coaching is. Yeah, that's exactly what it exposes, how bad this coaching is. Big old Dolphin fans, if Tua, we're not talking Dolphins right now, bro. Texas A&M money line, if you want to win your money back, says Jay Myers. Jay, thank you for looking out, my brother. You're not a gambling expert. I'm not a financial expert. Let's cover our asses also. Let's remind them. You're just saying, Jay, what you would do in these situations. That's all. So Jay Meyer says Texas A&M money line if you want to win your money back, because that's what he's trying to do, is win his money back, just like you're trying to win your money back. Okay? SoCal Kane says we need to pump the brakes on Mario getting fired. Remember, we're 10-2. Where would we be if Mario wasn't here? Exactly. He's just got to get better coaches. But, SoCal Canes, don't blind yourself. Okay? This is a problem for Mario Cristobal. He's not a good game day coach. Those are the facts. So we just got to hope that he finds the right players and the right combination that can overcome it, because he's not the guy. And I don't know. He needs to find, like he has Mirabal, he needs to find some coaches that will be there for a long time, because some of these guys are going to become stepping stones. On offense, if you find another one and he develops another quarterback, the guy's going to be gone. Okay? So far, the guy that's at SMU looks like a better X's and O's coach than Mario Cristobal, because he's doing it with less and a lesser program. So I would be more impressed with the guy that left to SMU than I would be with Mario. But like I told you when he got hired, he needs to be even better than he was at Oregon. I wasn't as impressed as others with him at Oregon. What I like about Mario is he's a good custodian. He'll recruit the shit out of the program, and he'll bring players in and all of that. Again, on game day, I just don't expect him to wow you. And those are the sad facts. It's, tough men football, running the ball, conservative play. And I'm actually surprised he let Cam kind of, play the way he plays at times. I'm kind of surprised with that. You managed to score 38 points, yet you still lose. Yeah, that's what happens when you have a bad defense and a bad turnover also, which became a big play in this game. Cristobal doesn't take enough chances, and McD takes too many. Right. Yeah. Raging, that's a great one. A happy medium. Yeah. Fenway Park has a bowl game. Yeah, we're going to one of those shitty pinstripe bowl game types of things. That's kind of what we deserve as it is. Miami lost, but I won by betting against them twice, taking Cuse outright with the points. Studley. Got to make that money, bro. Mario is not the guy. Look at what Oregon is doing since he left. Yeah, the guy at Oregon is better than Mario. Yeah. Those are facts, bro. We can't, like, sit here and lie to ourselves and start making Mario is a fantastic human being. We all know that. We all know he's a fantastic human. We all know he's a great recruiter. He's not a great coach. Never has been a great coach. No, as I've said, like I said this week while they were preparing for this game, and I think I've mentioned this in the past. You'll talk about his character. You'll talk about his personality. You'll talk about his work ethic. You'll talk about his relentless recruiting. Nobody ever says, they'll say, oh, Mario Cristobal, dude, that guy is a tireless worker. Hey, Mario Cristobal, that guy's a hell of a recruiter. Nobody ever says, Mario Cristobal, that guy's a hell of a coach. Nobody ever says that. No, it's always great human being, father figure, custodian of a program, work ethic second to none, committed, recruiter, all tough, all that, all those adjectives. Nobody ever describes Mario Cristobal as a great coach. Nobody. They never have, because they cannot, because that's never been proven. He's never been the smartest coach in his conference. He's never been the smartest coach at the end of the year. He's never been the guy that beats the good teams all the time. So even when he got to Oregon and had all that money, it wasn't like he was beating SEC and Big Ten teams all the time. Did he win? I think Ohio State once or something. And, but more often than not, Oregon still would get bitch slapped by those kind of teams. So when he gets here, he's still filling his record up with shitty teams. Hell, even losing to some of the shitty teams, barely beating some of the shitty teams, and rarely beating any good teams. Stuck in the middle again. Same thing we do with the Dolphins, same thing with the Canes. You're not bottoming out, but you're not really in the upper echelon. And you don't belong in the top 12 teams in the country. Your record is fraudulent. You're a fraudulent team. That's what the Canes are. The Canes are frauds. And got exposed again here tonight. And they get what they deserve. Unfortunately, it sucks for us. There's no trip to the ACC championship game, and there's no way they deserve to be in the playoffs. Not with that defense. I'd rather take several SEC teams over them and Big Ten teams over them. So I'm sorry. It's just, those are the facts. So it is what it is. Not the way we wanted to finish, but last year went 7-6. This year went 10-2. Yeah, you beat the shitty teams. Yeah, whatever, but you didn't get to the ACC championship game. Scott, it's an empty 10-2. You didn't even get to the ACC championship game with Cam Ward, dude. That's pathetic. You know what I call the ACC, right? You guys know what I call it, right? Another crappy conference. That's what I call it. And you couldn't get there with this team and that quarterback. This talent you had more than enough talent. You're not a good enough coach. Tyon says the only criticism Mario should have right now is not firing the DC. I don't care what nobody says. Your offense put up points. Going for the field goal is not the changing point in the game. No, but it's the wrong move at that moment. You're right, Tyon. Your entire post is spot on. But last resort right there, yeah, going for the field goal was like waving the white flag. There was no way your defense was ever going to stop anybody. And the 10 wins just doesn't mean much because you didn't beat shit pretty much. You beat even Florida when Florida wasn't playing well. You got them right at the beginning of the year. Look at them now. They would lose to Florida now at this time. I don't know, man. It's kind of like the Heat thing. I'm not enamored with the run the way people look at it from the Heat organization or the crazy close fan base and some of the media that covers it. To me, it was fantastic that you got to the finals a couple times in the Eastern Conference Finals. But let's not kid ourselves. You had a whole bunch of breaks. All kinds of shit went your way. You had a whole bunch of great luck. That's why it happened. But that's why you're not even sniffing it anymore, because your talent has been exposed. It is what it is. You're not in the bubble anymore. It's not a shortened season where everything fell into place. It's not where you got to the playoffs and all of a sudden Embiid and Giannis are injured and that helps you to the finals and then you get exposed. What happens in the finals? Same thing. It's like the Dolphins with Marino getting to the Super Bowl and then realizing, oh shit, we don't belong anywhere with San Francisco. Our team is garbage next to San Francisco. We may have Marino and some receivers, but there's nothing else on this team worth a damn. Basically, that's how it goes. And it's the same thing. So these 10 wins, they're frauds. It doesn't really mean much to me. And it proves to me when push comes to shove, you're still nothing. Just like the Miami Dolphins for the last 40 years. From the back end of the Marino Shula run all the way till now. Every time you're in a big moment, every time you got to go up against a great team, every time you got to go to the playoffs, you fold like a cheap tent. And it doesn't matter what quarterback it is and what coach and what GM and what owner and nothing. And the Canes right now, it's the same shit for the last 20 years. Doesn't matter who you are. You're frauds. You can only beat shitty teams at times. And you even struggle against the shitty teams. And you lose to the shitty teams. That's who the Canes are and have been for 20 years. That's who the Dolphins have been. It's kind of the rut of who they are. That's why these 10 wins are fraudulent. It's a terrible conference, and you can't even get to the ACC championship game with a terrific quarterback in a terrible conference. This is a disgrace for Mario Cristobal. And this is a black eye for him. And this is one of those that just adds to what's happened the first couple of years. It proves you're not the guy. You proved it the first couple of years when you had less talent. And okay, we gave you the break. Now you have more talent. Everybody talks about the recruiting class and all these names. And yet when push comes to shove, you got shoved every single time. So talk, chatter. It doesn't mean jack shit, And that's really, in the end, what we're talking about with the Canes. They're frauds. Until further notice, Mario Cristobal is not the guy. He's the recruiter. Okay. He's a great guy. Fantastic. Is he the guy on Saturdays? No. So the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes have a Saturday and Sunday problem. And both guys suck on the most important day of the week. That's pretty bad. A-Rod says no difference between the Canes and the Dolphins. There is no difference. Same thing. Frauds. And when they have to be put up against tough moments, they get punched in the mouth and they fold like a cheap-ass chair. Like those cheap-ass aluminum chairs that weigh like half a pound. And, exactly. Right there. That's it. Pedro Farias, he's finding more stuff under the cushion, and we thank you for that, sir. Big O, I'm so mad. It's so bad. So Miami Dolphins, so Miami Hurricanes. So we're not a football town. Whoa, we're just a bad football town. We have great fans. Dolphin fans are the best in the world. The best. I mean, I see them all the time, meet them all the time. The best. Canes fans are fanatical. They're dying. They love the team. It's just these teams don't love us. They don't want to perform for us anymore. That's all. It's not the Canes Nation. The Canes Nation is super strong. The Dolphin Nation, forget. The Canes don't deserve their fans, and the Dolphins don't deserve their fans. That's all. Canes fans, you see them there out on the road in Syracuse? Are you kidding me? They made a trek to Syracuse? Those people are awesome, bro. We're going to have 2 Jet games coming up. Wait till you see the MetLife takeover, even though the season's over. You'll see 1,000 Dolphin fans together. We have great fans. Our fans are phenomenal, and they haven't been rewarded in so many decades now. Canes are on 2 decades. The Dolphins are on like 4. They do nothing for their fans, and yet they ask everything from their fans. That's the worst part. They do nothing for their fans. They never produce anymore. It's amazing. But yet you guys are asked to tailgate, buy season tickets, go on the road trips, buy jerseys, all kinds of stuff constantly, right? You're asked to do all of that. And then when you ask them to produce some great moments, you don't have any. You have just shitty moments where you have like 47 laterals to beat Duke. Wow. The Miami Miracle. Wow. Those are the memories that we create now here in South Florida football. That's our memories nowadays. Wow, how shit has fallen. Okay? Shit does go downhill. Wow. That's pretty bad. Okay? That's pretty pathetic. So let's hope that Dolphin football stops being pathetic. And let's hope that Miami Hurricane football stops being an embarrassment in all these big moments, because that's all they do to us as fans. They constantly embarrass us. So I apologize for the Canes' embarrassment. I wish that they would do better, but unfortunately, they are who they are.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Canes memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.